I think my audience is going to be excited to hear, first of all, about the place. We just did a retreat. We did 2 retreats here back to back, Pete.
Yeah, I'll never be the same again.
Idónea is the name.
Correct.
Why did you choose Idónea as the name for this beautiful place that we've been here? We've been here for 3 weeks.
Hard to believe. I know, it's incredible. Looking forward to seeing him go, tell you the truth, folks. No, Idónea, I was searching for a name for this dealio that we built here. Yeah. And after much encyclopedias, books, magazines, online searching, I eventually come up with this name, Idónea, which is an old Portuguese word. First thing I liked about it, it had that little accent over the O.
We call it in Spanish un piquete, like something like interesting about it, you know?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Wow, I like that, dead sexy, I thought. And then I looked into, well, what does it mean? And it means things that would work well for me. It means good relationships, the right fit, to be suitable for each other, and to have trust and integrity in that relationship. I thought, wow, I can use that. And Idónea was born. I got it registered. So in Portugal, not the world, but we're the only Idónea that can operate as a business now. So that's pretty sweet. And that's our name. You become your name.
That's it.
Your name becomes you.
That's it. And the Azores, I mean, it's just an island, and it looks like it's in the middle of nowhere. Why did you choose here?
I kind of chose me in a way, really, because what happened was I came here, as I'd done for many years, on a backpack adventure. So I'd gone around a different place, many locations around the world. So 5 years ago, my location of choice was the Azores. I'd not been here. I didn't know too much about it. So I came with my little backpack.
What attracted you to it?
Just, I'd not been there.
Yeah.
It was off the radar. You don't hear a lot about it, except on the weather channels. They talk about weather coming in from the Azores, but other than that, nobody knew about the Azores. And I thought, I've got to check that out.
Yeah.
So when I came here 5 years ago, I was ultra pleasantly surprised, more than pleasantly, taken aback by the beauty, the natural beauty of this island. Just stunning. Absolute. The mountains, lakes, waterfalls, wildflowers everywhere, and the lack of commercialism. It was kind of undiscovered compared to other islands.
Well, when you come here, like when you're coming to this, your hotel here, you would call it a villa. What would you call it? Like a boutique villa, something like that.
Yeah, we call it a farm-to-table experience with accommodation.
Yeah. So you kind of don't see anything else. You go through a village, and it's really quite rustic, right? You're the experience of coming here. You're going through all these narrow streets, and then there's this like place, like you talk to the guy at the taxi. We say, we want to go to this place, and he's like, where is that?
That's right.
So it's a bit. You had to actually create it. You had to create this.
That's good and bad news. Yes, you're right. People still don't know Idónea. Where is it? You tell them when you're in Pontegassa, they say that's not possible because they only know Pontegassa for that long and winding village street that goes on forever. But at this end, Pontegassa opens up into a countryside, mountains behind you, giant ocean in front of you. It opens up. So when I saw this place, I thought, wow, I love that. I didn't look at any other locations. I did not look at anything. I met a crazy real estate guy, and he says, "You looking to buy?" I says, "No, just traveling, mate." He says, "What are you looking for?" I said, "I'm not looking for anything." He says, "If you were looking for something, what would you choose?" I said, "It would be a little farm, on the ocean." And he said, "Look, there's nothing listed right now on the listings, but there's a guy, old boy I know, might be selling this place." He says, "Do you want to have a look at it?" I said, "Not really, but," I said, "I've got a free morning tomorrow morning. I'll have a peek at it." So I came here with him, and it was nothing like you see now. It was an old beater. The house was a bit of a ruin. All the gardens were overgrown, but I saw the potential, and I thought, wow, I love this place. It's got something. I was drawn to it. Some magic. So I did something crazy, and I made the guy an offer on the telephone that afternoon, just like that, without seeing another property. and not doing any research.
Sometimes you don't need it. You just something feels right, you do it.
Yeah, and he actually did, right, because he accepted, and I wired money down overnight, and I bought it the next day. Just like that. Piece of magic.
And so right now we're kind of at the edge before it goes into the farm. But what was here before? Like what did the house look like?
Yeah, house was a typical old Portuguese house. It would probably been a bit neglected, some mold on it because the humidity here, and it was divided up to a lot of small rooms, and that's typical of the old houses here. So first thing I thought, wow, I'll take out all them rooms out of the main house and make one big living area. So that was the first plan. This building here to my left, this was an old storage unit, and I thought, wow, that could be something. So we raised the roof, made the big window larger at the front to give the stunning ocean view, put a wine cellar in down below in the basement area. And
I guess you made this patio like this kind of like eating area or common area. You would say this is a common area.
This was this space in the middle was here. There was an old rustic lean-to over on the right side here, and that we tore that down and built this new piece on. Built a swimming pool, did all the paving, the rock walls, the gardens. I had an excavator come in. We terraced the gardens going down the hill there. Put in an irrigation system.
And I walked through the garden. Wow, what a garden! You have everything down there. It's self-sustained. Like you. I mean, other than fish, you'd have to go and find some fish. You could probably just live here and not have to.
Flipping right. You hit it right on the nose.
Yeah,
you could live off the land here 12 months a year.
Yeah.
You can grow stuff. Not everything for all 12 months, but definitely good, sustainable, tasty, volcanic soil food.
Yeah. Was that the vision that you wanted to have, like, maybe have the people enjoy the food directly from the garden right here?
That's right, and that evolved, and it's still evolving. There's no clear-cut plan from A to B. That I thought about it way back when I first came here. A lot of this stuff develops as you go. You come with new ideas, you get thinking, you learn more about the island, learn more about this property, and it's a moving target.
You inspire me. You have an adventurous soul. I think I'm that way. I like to travel around. But you like kind of settling for a bit and going. I like to travel, go in and go, and I still have like a main place. But you like to go in. You were sharing to me the whole coming to Canada, and you showed up to Canada one day, just the way you showed up here one day with your backpack, and you're like, well, I think I'll stay. Where do you think that comes from? Where does that come from?
Well, I think a lot of it comes from my dad, who was a true I was a man's entrepreneur. He was a ducking and diver, wheeler and dealer, and you get that in your blood. And then for me, I learned that the enjoyment of building a business is not building it so it's done. It's the actual building it. And that's what gives me the joy and the excitement. Clawing away and creating something from nothing. And there's a lot of ups and downs in that, as you know. You're building any business, but when you're building something from scratch, it's not all joy. But there's something that keeps me coming back. It's a bit of a love-hate. I curse it at the same time because I'm my own.
Well, it keeps you young because it's your brain. It's like you're stimulating your brain, and it's like ideas and like problem solving. I think a lot of starting a business is problem solving. You start here, you had a vision. Maybe you wanted to put the pool here, but it didn't work out. You had to adjust it, put it over there. I'm just imagining what types of issues you would have had here that you had to solve. What brought you to Canada? And I know you have a winery in Canada. How did you end up with this winery, and what is the name of the winery? Because I'm going to be in Halifax, so I want to.
You're going to drink fine wine in Nova Scotia. Wow.
Yeah. So, how in the world did you end up in Nova Scotia?
Well, after leaving England in 1978, I back up a bit from that. I left school at the early age of 15. I went to work in the fruit and vegetable business. By the time I was 19, I had my own business, just from a little nothing, just from a peapot. And so that grew in 6 years, and by the time I was 25, I sold it. Everybody thought I was crazy because I built this great little business. I was the king of the Victoria Market in Nottingham. Hepla pant, 2 pound banana, come on, chatting them up. And selling all the fruit and veg. I'd built a great business, but I wanted to travel, I wanted adventure. And I sold it. Oh, everybody I knew thought I was crazy because I had the greatest little business. And I got out, I left on an adventure around the world. Did a lot of stuff. I picked oranges in Florida, sold cockroach powder in Texas, had a crocodile farm in Belize.
Crocodile farm.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I find you so fascinating. It's like you have that adventurous soul, right?
Yeah.
Cockroach powder.
Yeah, it was a great little business. It was the only cockroach powder. It's non-toxic, non-poisonous, safe with children, pets, cats, dogs, and goldfish. You can even eat it. And I used to woof this white powder out onto the counter. This was at the markets in Texas. And that was a point. I buy it for $4 a bottle, sell it for $8. So anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But
Scotia.
Did a lot of stuff. Got my Canadian papers. I tried to get US. I applied for Australia at that time, but my Canadian papers came first. I went to the Canadian consulate in Dallas, had my interview, drove up to Canada from Texas. I didn't know where I was going, but everybody in Texas knew oil country, son, Alberta. That's where. So that's where I went to. I didn't know what I was going to do, but finished up in Alberta for a couple of years, and I did a lot of stuff. Worked behind a bar, created a handyman business, drove a tree skidder in the woods, hauling big logs and timber out of the woods. But I'd got this idea about living off the land, growing my own crops, being a back to the lander, a granola.
Yeah.
So I looked at land prices in Canada. The only place you could buy reasonable land was in the East Coast, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. So I finished up. I sold up in Alberta. I'd made some money, luckily, on this house. I bought it at low prices, and I sold it in the boom because Alberta was always bust a boom. And I just sold it at the right time, and I got some money in my pocket, and I bought this old farm in New Brunswick, 20 miles north of Moncton, a place called Saint Antoine, French country. And I'd got this dream of living off the land, growing my own crops, started a yogurt business, milking cows, making yogurt, selling it in Moncton. But it was not working out. It was a year later, and the vision was not happening. I was broke and down to my last 300 bucks.
Wow.
So at that time, I headed to the St. John's City Market in New Brunswick, the old market built in 1876, one of the oldest markets in Canada. And I got a stall on this market and got back to my roots of selling fruits and vegetables. I'd only got 300 bucks left in my name, but I started this little fruit and veg stall. I bought $250 worth of inventory, and my scale was a illegal set of household kitchen scales, and my cash register was my money belt around my waist.
Yeah.
That was it. And that business did grow. And over a period of time, ups and downs, it's never just like that, a roller coaster. But it grew over time to 500 employees.
Wow.
And
that's a big business.
yeah, it did from that. And that grew to stores in Nova Scotia. My brother and my brother-in-law, my sister came over from the UK. They took over the New Brunswick operation. I moved to Nova Scotia. So during my time there, I'd set up the Pete's Fruitique brand was alive and well in Nova Scotia. I'd got this idea about owning land again. I failed at one farm, but it was still there with me. So I bought a farm in the Annapolis Valley, just outside of Wolfville. A beautiful place on the side of a hill. I stole it. Nobody went up this hill. Nobody went there, but it had the most magnificent views, but it had a bad reputation, this area of the Annapolis Valley. Oh, Pete, don't go there. That's bad news. But I didn't know anything about this. I just bought this place. Anyway, the winery started, planted a few grapes, and played around and just planted the next.
And during that time, the wine it had not really developed as wine country yet.
It was just starting. There was 2 or 3 wineries had already just got started, and I saw the potential. There's 22 wineries now in Nova Scotia.
Wow.
And so this business started from nothing. Now it's a full-on fabulous winery, a 250-seat restaurant, producing around 20,000 cases of wine a year, over 200,000 bottles.
Wow.
And 60 acres of grapes growing and buying from other local farmers. So my daughter Gina, I have 5 daughters, 1 son. But one of my daughters, Gina, she has taken over total management and certainly part ownership of the winery now. And she's looking after that while I came here to start a new adventure.
Well, I'm going to be following all your adventures. We're staying at your beautiful place. And so whoever's watching, I would definitely recommend them to come here. And the hospitality, the food, I mean, everything's been A1. I mean, and you make this place, I'll tell you that right now. You make this place. You're charming, you're hospitable. I mean, we're staying in your house.
No, well, did you tell him where I stayed?
Well, he's down there he's in a tent. Imagine that. He's so hospitable that he allows us to stay in his house while he stays in the tent. But we had 2 great masterminds here. People got so much value. They were inspired by you. Everybody kept asking about your story. So I thought, maybe share it with our audience. What is a piece of advice that you would give someone that's watching this, that's thinking about, getting on an adventure like this, like what you've done here with going to a foreign country, setting up shop? What would be one piece of advice that you give them?
That's a loaded question. I have always probably been fortunate in the fact that I think I'm able to think like a customer. I don't think like a business owner or an accountant or about, the making money thing. I just think, what would a customer like? And getting tuned into customers. I look at customers, I watch them, I learn, I see if the glass is empty. Before they know it, it's full. But I think looking at your customer, developing your own personal brand. I've been able to build a brand of my own brand, but I've attached it now to the business, which then becomes a culture of the business. And so building your own personal style, because in this world of today, as you know, it's gone flipping bonkers with everything's online. There's not that much personal stuff left anymore where you get the personal contact with a real human being. You talk to them. I think when you can offer that, not just yourself, but within your people, your group that you develop, that's a magic thing today, because people still are human beings and they love heart-to-heart contact. People love that and yearn for it.
And you know what? You become connected to it, right? So you come here, you remember the experience, and then people want to come back again and again and again and again. And that's what makes a business. Returning customers.
You know it, kiddo. One customer at a time. I've always been build a business one customer at a time.
So, Pete, thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for sharing your place with us. And we will see you again soon.
Hey, just a minute. He's the legend, though, not me. This guy here, he's a rock and roller.
Thank you.